Salutations all, welcome back to Final Fantasy II. Sorry I'm being a little quiet now, but Jaina is currently sleeping on my lap, and I want to be a little calm for her. Now, we last left off bringing all the mithril to the guys, and all that really amounted to was Maria now has a mithril sword, which is nice. But let's go ahead, we need to go back. You might say, why do we go back here if we then have to go back again? And this is kind of the most annoying aspect of all of Final Fantasy II, I would say, is that you do all the grinding, you get through it, you go through the dungeons, which take a long time, whatever. Poorly designed dungeons are at the end of the world. But the most annoying thing about Final Fantasy II is that it's a lot of just going back to the hometown. You know, you fight some enemies, you have a guest party member here and now, and all that ends up happening is you end up going back to the hometown, reporting on some stuff, maybe learning a new word, and then going back out again. And it gets very repetitive after a while. You feel like you're not really accomplishing anything, or at least I don't. Anyway, that battle more than enough paid for our pirate ship to send us to, was it Poff? Yeah, let's go there. Now, I don't remember who said it, but somebody said something, it might have been Princess Hilda, about the warship being built in Bofsk, and if you were paying attention, Bofsk is one of the towns that Cid can fly us to. We can walk there if we want, but I'm not going to waste any time, we have plenty of gold. Bofsk, just 100 gold, because it is the nearest. I do kind of like that detail that, depending on which town is the closest, that'll also determine the price of your flight. The towns do make this world feel a bit more alive, but as you can see up there, we have a ginormous airship beyond that cave, so we need to find a cave hidden in this town of Bofsk here, so that we can eventually get to, that there airship. What do you have to say? Please defeat the warship. These guys here are soldiers working for the Empire. We don't want anything to do with them. And this here is Borgin. He's kind of in charge of the operation going on here. Not the Empire, completely, but he's a high-ranking soldier. What does he say if we say the warship? He doesn't know anything about the warship, despite it being built in this town. Borgin became the Watch recently. He's pretty lenient compared to the Dark Knight, so okay. We got Batman here. I can't believe he's a general. Just a moron. Oops, I didn't say anything. Well, as you may have inferred, this guy is working with the Rebellion, so we're on your side, dude. Oh, so you're the rebels. I couldn't act when the Dark Knight was around. He would have spotted us. Here, head through the sewers behind me to reach the warship. Okay, move out of the way, please. He's supposed to move out of the way, isn't he? I don't... Okay, there he goes. Maybe it was because we had to say warship first, I guess. We have a dungeon in the sewers here. Not much to say about here. We just have one exit we need to get to. There's some treasure chests along the way, but I don't know how useful these are going to be. We got a long sword. How is that for Maria? Worse. Okay, that serves zero purpose. We're just going to be going through all the battles as you'd expect. We're using Fire 11 to get through all the enemies. None of them can really handle us. Hello there. This is the Dark Knight. The warship is complete. You thought I would leave my work without finishing? In the wake of my warship's destruction, the rebels will have no choice but to surrender. Or wait, he's the Dark Knight. I should have given him Batman voice. You spoony guys. There's no way that was the original version. That's gotta be a Final Fantasy IV reference. Okay, well there goes the warship. We couldn't do anything to stop it, unfortunately, so this served pretty much no purpose at all. This is my life, just watching spells go off on a ton of enemies. We gotta go into this warp panel here. That is straight out of Fire Emblem. And unfortunately, we don't have any quick way back. We gotta walk this time. But it's not too far away. Like I said with the prices, Bofsk is the closest town to Cid. Back to Altair again. And the town has suffered a bit of an attack from the warship. This is why we can't see as many people around. And if we go inside our main base here, which I really wish was marked off, we can see a ton of people are now staying in here from the attack. Please God, let the king live. Apparently God is in this universe. Hey, Hilda. Many people were killed by the warship's attack. Father was deteriorated. Isn't there anything Minua can do? I'll stay here and try to ease his pain. Furion, you must stop the warship. Why Furion? He's dead. And so with that, Minwu has left. Some of you might be saying, well, why don't you grind up Minwu? You know, make it so that our party is a bit more well-rounded. Wouldn't take that long, right? Well, first of all, it would take a while, but also, Minwu is going to leave our party, and this is the main mechanic I don't like in Final Fantasy II's case, is that the extra party members leave constantly. So Minwu isn't with us anymore, so any grinding we would have done with Minwu then is completely negated now. In this game, and I'm kind of spoiling something here, but there's going to be a lot more guest party members, and none of them are going to last all that long, so there's no point in grinding with them, there's no point in caring about them even being there. When we talk to Hilda about the warship, she says, I've heard about the talks you had with Scott and Gordon. Kashun's gate won't open without the goddess bell. It's hidden in a cave far north of here. So for some reason we need to go to Kashun, even though we were trying to focus on the warship attacking us, but in order to do that we need to get the goddess bell, which is at a cave far north of here. And in order to get the goddess bell in that cave, we're going to need the help of Joseph. Okay, sure enough, I need to learn the word Goddess Bell from the king of all people, even though Hilda was the one who told me to go out here and get the Goddess Bell in the first place. I couldn't have just learned the word from her, it didn't give me the option. So now I gotta walk all the way back from this town, no airship to help me out here. Hey, dying king, tell me about the important thing. How do I guess you just say it? I already know the word warship. He's not saying Goddess Bell. Do I need to get him to say Sunfire? Do I need to say Sunfire to him, which I learned from Sid? Okay, back to the town where Sid's at. Poft. You must destroy the warship. How do I get you to say Sunfire? There you go. Like my warship, or like the warship, my airship uses Sunflame for power. Okay, let's learn that. Is that what I have to say to the king for him to say Goddess Bell? That would be very random. Scott sealed Kashun's entrance to protect the Sunflame, just as you captured by the Empire. The Goddess Bell is needed to open Kashun's gate, so we can learn that. Minwu, do you have anything to say about this? Gordon knows where the bell is, but, he fled when Altair was attacked, that coward. I heard Joseph talk about that sometimes. Perhaps you should take another trip to Salamando. Yep, we're going back there. I've been recording now for so long, and I feel like only so little of this is going to be actually useful in the episode. Like, none of this is interesting. Do you guys really want to see me fight this soldier? Here we go. Alright, Maria and Guy, they're gonna attack him, then he's gonna die, and then we get some random amount of gold, maybe some random stat increases that I can hardly control, and then we're out of there. Interesting gameplay.